computer. Boom. Share. We are recording. Share with sound. Sorry, people. I talk to myself sometimes. All right, you ready?
Oh, we served our time on the USS 5. Lived that destroyer duty life. But now we're anchored on the shore, not swabbing decks anymore. We've traded in our steel and steam for the culinary dream. Heave ho and turn the heat. We're making something good to eat. From port to starboard, come and see what's cooking in the Pfeiffer's galley. We've got recipes from near and far, from the mess deck to the corner bar. So if you're hungry, brave and true, we've got a feast for all the crew. Heave ho and turn the heat. We're making something good to eat. From port to starboard, come and see what's cooking in the Pfeiffer's galley.
All right. Welcome to episode 35, I think it is. Oh, well, if it's not, fucking. And today, Thumper's cooking. So, Brett, what are you cooking? What are you making?
So I was originally going to make a 1600's pottage, and that's like a soup from the 1600's, right? And it's more like a peasant meal. But I really didn't feel like soup today, so I kind of started looking around, and I found like a skillet, like a one cast iron skillet from the 1600's, and I'm going to do a little bit of a switch up on it because it's normally like a leftover roast or a salted pork that they put in it, or venison, if they were lucky enough to get venison, because this is from the UK area, Europe, and a lot of them couldn't have venison because of the king's property. But I'm going to do a bison, so I'm actually doing the adaptation when they came over. All the colonials, they kind of brought this recipe with them, and they did a bison with it. So basically, it's a 1600s period meal. It's a skillet, one skillet, very easy, very little ingredients, because back then spices were expensive, ingredients could get expensive because they had to use what they could get, right? So today I'm using a 1 pound thing of bison. Here it's ground bison. You can use stew meat and all that. Like I said, I'm doing a medium turnip. I bought turnips from the store. I've already cut the root off of this one and the top. I'm going to dice this up. Small onion, half a head of cabbage, a carrot, and I'm going to use some bacon, uncured bacon, for the fat to cook the bison in it, because the bison is about 90% lean, and it will harden up. It'll crisp up too fast if you don't have some fat in it. You don't want it crispy. You can use ground beef and all that, but I like the bison, so I'm going to use that today. So I'm going to prep everything here. I'm going to dice up this turnip really small. I'm going to do it in chips, basically, and then I'm going to dice it from there. So I cut it in half, and then I cut it in the width I want. And I'll show you guys kind of what I'm looking at here. Wait a second. And if you don't like turnips, you can use potatoes. You can substitute it. I wanted more authentic, so I went with the turnip to be more authentic. Give me a second here. I'm going to miss you cut turnip so hard. Okay, so like I said, I cut them into chips, basically about quarter-inch thick, and then I'm going to cut these in long, like fries almost, and then I'm going to dice off of that. So that way they're in small pieces, manageable, and they cook a little bit easier because these are so dense with fiber and everything. It takes them forever to soften, and you want to kind of soften them. You want to cook them to where they're soft, and then you can kind of crisp them up on the outside. And any of the undesirable stuff on the outside of it, you can just cut that away. It's not going to hurt it. With it gets like these little roots kind of all over the place, hairs. Um, but you can just kind of go through and cut these into like fries and then dice it from there. Yeah. When I say cut them into fries, you're going long ways this way. Same, width there. And you're just going to dice that off. And I do small dice because, like I said, you want to be able to cook it fast. You don't want it to take too long. They don't have to be perfect. They didn't have Michelin stars or James Beard Award winning chefs back in the 1600s.
No, they did not.
A lot of the stuff that they cooked back then was trial and error and leftovers. Like they got the scraps and they made what they could out of it.
Yep.
They didn't have a lot of root vegetables, because it was so easy for them to grow. They were hardy. They didn't have to worry about them as much. So root vegetables are always a staple in old recipes because it's back then they didn't have the refrigeration. They didn't have a way to preserve. So root vegetables are a great way to get, your fiber and the hardiness and filling, than compared to other foods that we have today where we're kind of spoiled. So I'm just getting that all chopped up, diced. And then I'm going to cut my carrot. Bowl for those turnips. 1 second. And you want to give the turnip a good wash, but then you want to make sure it's dry because you are going to be dropping it in fat and you don't want it to pop all over the place. Like anything else, you don't want to put water into any type of grease. If you don't use if you don't use bacon, so like I said, a lot of times they use bacon or salt pork, or just regular pork fat to cook in, because pork, especially in the colonial days, was more prevalent than anything else, because pigs were easy to raise and because pigs could eat anything basically. So they would raise pigs before anything else because it was so much easier for them. So pork and salt pork and bacon and pork fat and everything else was just more prevalent to cook with back then. They didn't have to worry about their livestock dying when they were raising pork because they could eat anything. Whereas, if you raise cattle, you got to have the right food for them, otherwise they're going to die.
Yep.
Hogs are kind of resistant to death when it comes to survival. They can survive pretty much anywhere. why they're so destructive, because they can eat anything. So this calls for a medium onion. Just chopping up a medium onion right now. Medium to small, depending on how much you like onion. I like a lot of onions, so. And I do those real fine and small too. Everything should be small in this dish because these dishes were designed to share with an entire family. So you want everybody to get a little bit of everything. You don't want too big of pieces because then it's going to be kind of unbalanced when you serve it. So just doing a fine chop, small chop on all of this onion. And then the cabbage will be a slice. So I'll do slices on the cabbage. Onion's going to sit off by itself because it's not going to go in at the same time as the carrot and the turnip. The carrot and the turnip are going to go in first because they're the most dense. And so I'm just going to do light, small, little wheels of carrot. Show you what I mean when I say wheels. I'm cutting it the lengthwise, just small circles. Just chopping a carrot. Don't need to cut it in half or anything like that. So you're going to do your bacon first, which I'm going to get down here in a second before I do my cabbage. I just wanted to get the root vegetables cut before I get too involved with the bacon because bacon goes fast. I'm going to get the root vegetables cut, then I'll get the bacon in, and then I'll slice my cabbage. And I'm going to use a half a head of cabbage, not a whole head. But you can use a whole head if you want to. And I don't care about how my vegetables look if they got a couple spots on them or anything, because you know what? They didn't cut spots off of the food back then. Just make sure you wash it good, get all the dirt off, and then everything else is edible. So, okay. So I got one carrot chopped. I'm just going to put that in the bowl with the turnip because they're both going to go in on the same time. Now, I went and got a hickory smoked uncured bacon from a grocery store here that's, more natural, not your big box style type of bacon, because I want it to be as, I guess, as authentic as you can get, skillet on, and I'm going to use my 14-inch cast iron for this. And I'm actually going to cut the bacon these slices in half. Make them smaller. Right through that. So I cut it in half. I got the slices of bacon here. I'm going to go ahead and throw these in. Get these going. Get that fat rendered down. I'm not even going to pull the bacon out when it's done. I'm going to leave it in because what I'm going to do is I'm going to crisp it up. And then once it's done crisping, I'm going to break it into small pieces. This is really good bacon. If you guys have like a Natural Grocers or a Fresh Thyme or Whole Foods, That's where you can get this type of bacon. So good. And it's better than like a Hy-Vee or, big box store. Even though those are kind of big box stores, they're more of the health food stores. Okay, so I got the bacon in now. I'm going to slice this cabbage. I have a half a head here from a previous meal I made. So just going to slice it down. And it's going to go in at the same time as the onion because they have about the same cook time. So my dog's over here investigating the cabbage I just dropped.
Oh, I bet.
So I cut it in wheels, half moons, but then I'm going to cut it in half. So that way you get smaller pieces when they do start to cook down. It breaks apart. So you just have little strips of cabbage. So strips like that or so for cabbage.
You and your fucking cabbage.
Oh, man. This is the second time this week I've had cabbage. It's so good.
It's good.
But I'm going to let that bacon go here. And then once I get that bacon done, the bison's going in. And then the root vegetables will go in right with that. So that bison will cook with the root vegetables. I might even throw the root vegetables in first. I don't know. Get those going. There's really no wrong way to do this as long as you get everything cooked, because it's all going together. Yeah, I was going to do the traditional old style from Europe, but then I'm like, you know what? Let's do it the pioneer way, because, they would do bison back then. So, I think it'd be pretty cool to add that to it. So I did use AI for the recipe, I asked it to make me a 1600 style portage. And then I was like, I don't really want soup. So I asked it to change it up and make something that wasn't soup. And then it gave me this recipe. So this is kind of like a adaptation on the pottage, just without the liquid. So shouldn't be too long of a cook, honestly. Longest part's pretty much done. Just got to cook the bacon up. Bison cooks fast. Never made this style of food before. So, I've made skillets and stuff like that, but I haven't done this kind. Flipping this bacon over. Kind of like this bacon. It's a little spendy. It's a little expensive, but it's actually pretty nice looking bacon. Got an even fat distribution through it. And meat.
You start framing up your hood there?
Yeah, we're getting that framed up. I got some stuff going up. It's almost ready to stain.
Cool.
So hopefully the next cook I do, it'll be stained and ready to, and be done.
Wow, already.
Yeah. Things are starting to come along on the remodel.
My buddy that's helping
me, he hurt his shoulder. I think he tore a rotator cuff. So he's kind of been off for a little while, trying to recover from that. I think it's a corn rotator cuff. I'm not 100% sure, but he hasn't gone to the doctor yet, and I told him he needs to. But, why would anybody want to listen to what I say?
You're just a medic.
Right? I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, in this recipe, it does say you can do a splash of vinegar at the end, like apple cider vinegar. Now, I did see one of the other pioneer versions of this actually utilizes sliced apples as well.
I can see that.
So pork, it recommends to use ground pork or ham, sliced ham, and apples, and then a splash of apple cider vinegar as well. So I might have to try that another time just to see what it tastes like. Pork and apples always go together. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that. So
well, back then too, the apples were really sour.
Well, and abundant. So they used a lot of apples because they were everywhere.
Oh yeah. But they didn't have these lush, delicious, crispy, fucking sweet ones like we have today.
Yeah, I mean, they would have crab apples. They would have regular apples. I mean, there was a lot of apples abundant back then. So they used a lot of apples to cook with, and pork was the preferred, meat with that. So
makes sense.
Kind of cool,
Yeah. Well, I mean, adding an apple will give you the same kind of a tart brightness that a vinegar would.
Yeah, and that's why they say, splash it with vinegar, put a couple slices of apple in it,
That'll balance it right out.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I just rendered like a year and a half's worth of fucking jerky scraps into beef tallow yesterday. Man, that came out real good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Real nice. What have you been cooking up, Gilly? While I'm waiting for this to cook.
I ain't cooking nothing today.
No, I mean, like I saw that.
Oh, that was
Sloppy Joe.
I was wanting Sloppy Joe's, right? I'm like, or my juicy burger, right, with ketchup and all that, right? So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I got cabbage, I got garlic powder, onion powder, I got soy sauce, right? Fuck it. But use that. Turned out pretty good. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Cabbage on Sloppy Joe's. I've never done that.
Yeah.
You just use the green cabbage or the purple?
I used the purple and the green.
Oh, you used both. Okay.
I went ahead and cheated on this one, right? Since I was like, I don't feel like breaking out the fucking shredder, right?
Yeah.
So I got 2 bags of the mix, right?
Oh, okay. So you got the pre-shredded cabbage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went with that. And you taste the ketchup, you taste the soy sauce and all that shit, right? Black pepper, all that shit, right? So I said, fuck it, I'm going to update it.
It makes sense. I mean, if people are putting coleslaw on barbecue pulled pork, why not put cabbage on fucking Sloppy Joe? Same basic thing.
Yeah.
Well, I've done coleslaw on burgers.
Yeah.
You put it on a burger, a good burger with some barbecue sauce, or like a Western burger.
Oh, yeah.
So that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of cool. I've never actually thought about doing it in Sloppy Joe's though. That's
the only thing I used AI for was getting the fucking amount down. Because I'm gonna put this in another cookbook, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to get the amounts right. And that's what I was testing out too.
Did you heap it on there or did you mix it in with it?
Well, I cooked the meat first, right? 3 pounds of ground turkey.
Yeah.
Then once that was done, I put everything in there, right? All the seasonings, garlic powder, pepper, onion powder, right? And smoked paprika to have that in there. Put that all in there, get it all coated. Then I threw the fucking cabbage in there, right? Let that wilt down a little bit. Then I added the ketchup and soy sauce right there to it.
Okay.
Just enough to coat everything. Not to be like saucy, right? But just to coat everything and hold it.
So you incorporated the cabbage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Which, in case you don't want to use a bun, right? Because some people don't like using buns on them. They want to eat them like a protein bun. That's pretty much what it is.
You could almost, yeah, you could do like a lettuce wrap on that.
Yeah. Or you
Yeah.
can put it in a burrito or over rice if you want, right?
I wonder how it would be with like an egg
On
tortilla.
top.
Like when you make the no, like it when you make the tortilla out of like egg whites.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that would be like a packed protein type
Yeah.
meal. Like you could do like you could
Yeah.
roll it in a tortilla of egg, or you could do like egg buns.
Yeah. Yeah.
You like do like scrambled eggs like in the shape of a bun, like the round circle.
Yep.
I bet that would be pretty good.
Which I do have those fucking those circle egg holders, right?
Yeah.
I do have them just to make fucking egg whites right there if I want. You know, kind of like McDonald's style fucking egg on their biscuits, right?
Yep.
But I said, fuck it. I mean, it's nice, quick, easy to bake. I said, fuck it. So it's like right now, I'm working on fucking getting the cookbook fucking on Amazon right now. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, that would be pretty good. It sounds like.
I mean, if you want, I didn't have no mustard. You could put mustard in there too, because that go good on fucking sloppy joes.
Oh yeah, I do mustard on mine. I don't do ketchup typically. I mean, I know it's a mustard or a ketchup based sauce.
Yeah.
But I never put extra ketchup on it. I always just do mustard and onions.
Yep.
You know.
But I mean, it works. So
this bacon's almost done. I just got a couple more pieces. I'm kind of moving around just to get them a little bit crispier, finished off. And then I'm going to dump my root vegetables right in with them. Because this bacon is eventually going to crisp up enough that it breaks apart. So, and if it doesn't, oh well, it'll still be good.
Yep. Which I'll be on eating all that shit the next fucking couple days. So
Jay, I'll be right back, bro.
all right. But I'm gonna pause the recording just for a little bit till we get back cooking, unless you don't want to pause it.
Huh?
Because we can pause the recording if we're not going to talk about cooking.
Oh, we're good.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to throw the meat in. They're the fruit vegetables.
Okay. Yeah, because that's why I said no more live. You know, if we need to pause, we can pause. Especially like next week when I cook, we're gonna be hitting that pause button because I'm doing that smoked chicken park-risha. Where the fuck it is?
Yeah.
For cash.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw in the root vegetables. So the turnips and the carrot.
Yep.
Now, is a turnip, it's a root vegetable. Does it cook up any different than a potato time-wise?
No, it's about the same. I mean, it is pretty dense.
Yeah.
But it honestly, it's about the same as a potato, which is pretty awesome because it has a little different like aftertaste. So it's really, really similar. And in a pinch, you can use it, and most people wouldn't even notice the difference. I like it raw, even. So dump all that
Don't
in.
we all?
Well, some people, but that's going right in with the bacon. I'm gonna get that nice and coated with that bacon fat. I'm gonna stir it around so it's all coated. And I'll flip my camera here in a second. Take my camera over here. And so the bison is going to absorb what's left of the fat because your turnip and your carrot won't absorb it all. You know.
Well, that
They're
bison's
gonna kind of,
super lean anyway, isn't it?
yeah. It'll pull any of the fat that's in there. The bison will. You want to just kind of get a good flat, even layer of turnip and carrot down into the oil.
Yep.
And you can even use, more bacon grease if you need it, or tallow, whatever you like to use. Butter doesn't really matter. But let me flip my camera around here so you can kind of see what I'm working with right now in the pan.
Oh, damn.
So real small dice with the carrots.
Yeah, I'll cook up real quick.
Yep. And you just get that fry going in that grease. And it's let it go for probably going to take 10 minutes or so, 10, 12 minutes for that. And then the bison's going to go in. And then like I said, the sliced cabbage, which are going to be, pieces that are typically about that long. They're not super long, not real thick. And then the onion. And yeah, we're there. And this is like about the size of the turnip I use. So size of a baseball,
Yeah.
And you just cut this off, and then like these imperfections that you see here, don't worry about those. You don't have to cut those off or anything. You can just use it. There.
No,
A lot of people get all worried about like, oh, it's dry in there and it's brown. Just wash it off with some water and a brush. Get the dirt off of it. Cut your root off, and then you can slice it. Like I said, I sliced it into discs, and then I sliced those discs into fries, and then those fries is what I diced up. So that's the easiest way to do these.
Now, do you have to peel that like a potato, or can you eat that outside?
No, you can eat it just the way it is.
Okay, I didn't know that. I've never cooked a turnip before. That's actually you're the first person I've ever known that's cooked with them. Even my mom didn't cook with them.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah, which is weird given where I live, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to peel these.
Okay.
You can. I mean, some people do. I don't. I
don't need to.
I cut the top off where the stem is, and I cut the root off, and then I just use it the way it is. That you're going to get a lot of vitamins out of the skin. It's like a potato. You don't have to peel a potato.
Nope.
It's the same thing.
I rarely do.
Yeah. All right. Wow, those are looking good. Starting to turn color on the outside. The turnips are. Kind of what do you want to do? It's like frying a potato. Get it kind of golden on the outside or dark on the outside. It'll soften up in the middle. So you want to just occasionally stir them, let them sit on that heat in that oil. And you're going to want them to be a little soft, but these are already starting to get there. Hang on.
Now, in your opinion, since you had them and I haven't, would it be worth it to make turnip fries?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
That's hot.
But you might not like turnips either. Some people do, some people don't. Same time.
Right. Yeah, totally different flavor, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can bread them or not bread them and fry them. Worth a shot, if you don't. It's just like sweet potatoes, Some people like sweet potatoes, some people don't. I personally do not like sweet potatoes, but I like turnips.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're supposed to be like this holy grail of carbs for if you're weightlifting, They're supposed to be just like the best, most bioavailable, lowest glycemic index. Like there's nothing bad you can say about them when it comes to bodybuilding, but I just don't fucking like them.
Yeah. So have you ever had those veggie straws, like the chips?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're good.
Okay. So if you've had those the originals, that's kind of what a turnip tastes like.
Oh, okay. I'd like that then.
And I think actually they make them out of the turnips. I personally think they do. I haven't looked into it, but the flavor is like right there with them. So
Okay.
that tells me I think they're used in that a lot. All right. So these are getting nice and soft. So I'm going to open my package of ground bison to 90-10. And I'm going to throw that in with it. So that's in. I'm going to get a spoon and break that up. Get it mixed into all that fat that's in here. And this is where it goes really fast because bison cooks super fast.
Yep.
Just like fucking deer does, fucking elk, fucking emu, ostrich. Oh, hell yeah.
And since I just put the bison in, cabbage and onions are going in right now. That bison will cook the rest of the way. It'll also, some of the steam from the vegetables will cook that bison and keep it nice and moist. All right. Any big layers of cabbage that you have, break them apart, get them broke up. Get the cabbage as small as possible. You know, as far as the thickness of it goes, you don't want big pieces how it sticks together and you get the rings of cabbage. You want to break that apart. You want that heat to get in there and soften it up. You want that cabbage nice and soft. Make sure you're scraping the bottom of your pan. You don't want nothing sticking.
Nope. You want all that fond to be in the dish itself.
What's that?
Oh, all the fond on the bottom. Yeah, you want that up in the
Yeah.
food. Well, I was about to ask if you were going to deglaze it with something or not. Or are you just going to scrape it?
Nope, you just scrape it. This you don't want liquid. I mean, you could do liquid in it. You could do a. Let me turn this off. You could do a like a broth if you wanted to, but I wouldn't. Personally, I like it the way it's supposed to be served this way, you know. And
Yeah, broth would kind of turn into a stew, wouldn't it?
yeah, yeah, and I kind of want to stay away from stew and soup. So it's one of those things that I'm trying to stay away from right now. maybe another time. The pottage is what it's called. That's a soup or a stew. That's really good. If you look it up, it's kind of a garbage stew. It's like what the peasants ate because it was just that's what's around. They could throw everything into one skillet or one pot, cook it over the fire, and eat it, and it would be healthy. Still have some bison that's not fully cooked through, which is good because I'm still working on some of the bigger pieces of cabbage to get those softened up. And cabbage tends to once it starts to soften, if you do have a bunch of pieces stuck together, it'll start to fall apart, which is what you want. It breaks the bond of the leaves. Okay. And I'm just stirring this a lot right now, just trying to get these big pieces of cabbage. Some ones that are a little bit bigger than I really wanted, but getting those over the hot spot of the skillet right now. And then keeping the meat from overcooking.
Sir.
There we go. Start to come together. So this could be considered a skillet or a hash, type of a meal.
Yeah, as you're describing it, hash is the first thing that came to my mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
High protein, good fiber. Okay. Next, I'm going to throw a little bit of salt into it. I'm going to use my good salt. Actually, I think I'm going to use my lava salt, lava sea salt from Iceland. So this is the salt that I use here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big flaky salt. I don't want to salt it too much because of the bacon.
Yeah.
I mean, it is uncured bacon, but there's still always some salt to it.
The last time I did uncured bacon, I cured it with salt.
And then pepper. We are about done.
Yeah, carrots, turnips, cabbage, bacon, bison. That's pretty frontierish.
Yep.
That's all stuff they would have had on hand back then.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it this way instead of the European, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I am gonna throw in some thyme into it too, just a little.
Oh yeah, red meat almost always needs time.
Yep. All right, thyme is in. I always throw it in last too. I don't want it to be too overcooked because thyme can you can actually burn it in a skillet. I don't like that.
It's kind of funny. My mother-in-law, she's a vegetarian, right? Not ideologically driven. She just doesn't like the taste and texture of meat. You know, it is what it is. And my wife asked me, or asked her one time, "Hey, how much cooking do you do with thyme?" And my mother-in-law says, "I never use thyme. Why would I want to make my food taste like meat?"
Yeah, I guess.
So there's definitely a very strong correlation between that herb and meat. And I use it on pork, like salt, pepper, thyme. Like if I got a good piece of pork or a good fucking steak, salt, pepper, thyme, those are my fucking seasonings, man. Really, rarely anything else.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna take the camera, show you guys that.
Yeah.
All right. So this is in the skillet.
Looking good.
See it all together. And then I will plate it up real quick and we will be good to go. Now you can do a lot of times people will do like rye bread, but traditional was flatbread. I didn't make any flatbread or anything, and I'm not doing rye or anything. I'm just eating this. I'm not going to do any bread, but they would always traditionally have some type of either real hearty bread, like a really good sourdough, rye, a flatbread that is really dense, because obviously you're making this for a lot of people, but you're trying to make it stretch and make it filling at the same time.
Yeah.
So, Landon, dinner. Okay. So, oh man, it smells so good too.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Smell the thyme in it and everything. So here's the plate while it's on the plate. So you can kind of see the bacon, the bison, the carrots, the cabbage. Yeah. Yeah.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Yep. Looks Let me get a fork. There we go. Mm, yeah. Highly recommend trying it sometime.
That'll keep the wagon train going, huh?
For sure. And use the turnip. Don't skimp. Use the turnip. They're freaking amazing.
One of these days, I'm going to get me a turnip or two and try to do a few things with it. I've heard entirely too much about them in my life to have not tried them.
Mm. You really, with the thyme, you could do with or without the thyme. If you're not a big person or a big fan of thyme, you could do without it. But I think it goes really good with the turnip and the meat, the bison, the pork, and you could even mess around instead of doing like bacon, like I did, do ham.
Yep.
You know, or like just a good salt pork. You know.
Yep. Well, if you don't care for thyme, you could always substitute with the rosemary, couldn't you? Kind of in a similar vein, just a little different.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I would.
Oh, I wouldn't personally. I like thyme way better. But if you don't like thyme,
Yeah. This would be like in a wooden bowl. They'd eat it in a wooden bowl with a wooden spoon back in the day. Oh, these are good. I really like it.
None of that fancy Chinaware like what you're eating off of,
Right?
Richie.
The meat's got a good flavor to it. The bacon adds a nice little extra bite because this is thick bacon.
Mm-hmm. That bison got that grass-fed funk to it?
No.
No, not at all. No.
Mm-mm. And the bacon adds a little smokiness to it
Yep.
because it was hickory smoked.
Perfect.
So, no, this is actually really good. And that
I've been eating a lot of grass-fed beef lately, so all my food lately has had that little bit of that tiny, pleasant level of gaminess to it. You know what I mean? When you get with grass-fed.
yeah, this bison doesn't have that.
Oh, interesting. I thought it would.
Yeah. What do you think, Bob? You what? Really? I don't think so. He said the bacon seems stringy, but
Well, it's also thick cut. I mean, it's not exactly going to grind a powder under your teeth the way a thin cut would.
right. Yeah.
Besides, I'm pretty sure back in the day they just had themselves a fucking big old belly of bacon. They sliced it however they wanted with a knife. They didn't exactly have pre-sliced back then.
Right. Yeah, and it was always different thicknesses and everything.
Yeah. Or just chunk it up like fucking pork belly and you get in the store and do it up like that. Little nuggets of freaking rendered bacon, pork belly, what have you.
Yeah, it's really good. Highly
Yeah,
recommend
sounds it.
trying this. It's so good. I'm gonna take a picture of it now.
Yeah, he certainly ought to.
Let's see here. All right. There we go. All right. All right. Any questions how I did anything or anything like that?
Nope. I know.
So
No, that was all very informative from front to back.
I can run down the recipe again real quick for you guys. Let me pull it up. So it calls for half a pound. I did a whole pound of bison.
Just send that to me and I'll put in the comments.
Okay.
We'll start doing that. Since we're recording and not live, we'll start doing that.
Okay.
That's pretty cool to do that. That's actually pretty cool to do that.
Yeah.
Recipe is in the comments.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me damn. Let's see here. Copy. And I did this for two people, so this recipe is for two. So it's not too hard. You want it on Facebook, Gilly?
Just send my message. That'll be fun.
Okay. Yeah, so this came from like England and Germany area of Europe. So super easy, cheap too. I mean the damn bison is about the most expensive thing, obviously. But
yeah,
if you went with beef or pork, it'd be cheap.
Yeah,
real cheap. All right, so copy and paste. All right. You got it, Gilly.
Yep.
So,
All
yeah.
I need is I copy and paste that bitch right into the fucking thing once we get done.
And the turnips are perfect on this. Just
Yep.
soft, good flavor.
Nice.
I mean, like I said, you just make them small to cook right through.
Yep.
And I think with the carrot and the turnip, it's like a perfect pairing.
Excellent.
So, hell yeah.
Sweet.
What do you think of the turnips? The little square white pieces look like little potatoes. Nope. He said, "Oh, I thought they were potatoes."
Well, there you go.
There you go.
They taste like potatoes.
It's a form. It's like a potato almost.
Okay.
The flavor is way better though. Like they look different than a potato, but
They almost look like an onion that way.
almost.
You know, because the way it's shaped right there.
But
You
these
got
are
a root
really
side,
dense.
a green side, yeah.
Yeah.
These are really dense, and they're really good. Yeah, highly recommend if you've never had one, try it. Worth it. Mm. This is packed with protein and fiber, and obviously cabbage, which is good for your gut.
Just enough carbs to get you down the road.
Mm-hmm. And these are good carbs.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It lasts a while.
Yeah. The healthy glycemic ones, like the ones that are good on the glycemic scale.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do it right and buy the right stuff, no preservatives or anything, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Whole food.
Exactly.
Yeah, Charlene went hardcore, man. We whatever utensils we have right now, aside from a couple that aren't metal, she went and got a full freaking set of wooden utensils.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here now.
Yep. I don't hardly have any. I think I have two that are plastic.
I've got one silicone baking spatula that I use for mixing the dough on my biscuits, and that's about it.
Yep.
Yep, wood or metal.
I threw away all plastic cups, plates, bowls, all that. It's all gone.
I got a couple hanging around. We're pretty much like 95% there. Yeah.
Good. Even my storage containers are glass.
We started the transition. We're about 50-50 there.
Yep. I'm stainless steel or glass. That's it.
Yep.
All right, Gilly. You want to take us out?
Until next week, people, we are out.